What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope all is well with you. Guys, we are talking today about pop icon, legend, little sister of Michael Jackson, rest in peace Tito, Janet Jackson, finds herself in some hot water and possibly on the verge of cancellation because of some remarks that she made about Kamala Harris over the weekend. Now, guys, we're going to dive into this because it actually speaks to a point that I've made many times over the years, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later, but let's get into exactly what's going on here. Now, apparently, allegedly, there was an interview that was done by BuzzFeed, it looks like, and Janet spoke about her opinions on Kamala Harris in that she said she's not black. She said in the interview, that's what I heard, that she's Indian. She then added, much to the journalist's surprise, her father is white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. All right. So there it is. That's what the quote is that's being attributed to Janet Jackson. Now, what I find to be very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, is that in this day and age where everything is caught on camera or audio, we have no audio or video of Janet saying this. Okay, so that, first of all, kind of struck me as a little bit strange. Like, where is this interview with BuzzFeed? Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? You would think, okay, but this is what is being attributed to her. This is what's being said. Now, of course, she's talking about the ongoing controversy about Kamala Harris, the vice president, the presidential hopeful, and her racial identity. Now, she is said to be of Jamaican Indian descent. Okay, her father apparently is from Jamaica. I think he also lists in his lineage Irish and, a few other things. And her mother, of course, is Indian, East Indian, I believe it is. Okay, so there is a question. There's a question about her blackness, and I say, quote, blackness. And this is what I've always been talking about, guys, because black means so many different things to so many different people. That's the reason why I said a lot of times it's not even cool. Like, it's not even practical anymore. I'm sorry, I know it's controversial of me to say, but it's not even practical in 2024 going forward to solely identify yourself as black just because of things like this. You've heard me say it before. It means a million different things to a million different people. Now, clearly, you can see that Kamala Harris is a woman of color. The black part, that's the part that gets tricky because it depends on who is defining the so-called blackness. Now, for me, I would say that Kamala Harris is not black in the American black sense where, like, for myself, for people like me who came up a descendant of people who were enslaved, it's a little bit tricky, okay, because there is a black American experience. Now, Kamala Harris, she spent most of her formative years, I believe it was in Canada. She did attend a historically black college. It was Howard University, I believe it was. And, okay, she can say that she's black because her father is Jamaican. She could say that. A lot of people could say that, you know what I mean? But like I said, it's a very, very tricky thing, guys. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say that she's black like me. So the real offense, I think, that I took, and I think a lot of people probably took with Kamala, is that when she decided that she was going to make this run for president, she was marketed to us through the Democrats as a black woman, the black candidate, and she came out on the road and she spoke to us in a way that I felt was condescending. Like, I'm just like y'all. It's like, bro, like, what? Like, you don't talk like that. You don't even sound authentic when you're doing that. She goes out on these on the road, to campaign, and she's using these exaggerated accents. You guys might remember Hillary Clinton did the same thing. She talked about how I carry hot sauce in my bag. I take that shit everywhere. You know what I mean? It's the same playbook. So she sounds just about as credible as Hillary Clinton. So when you talk about blackness, you are going to be questioned. You know what I mean? She talked about how she listened to Tupac when she was in college. Tupac was not out when she was in college. or so they say. I'd have to actually look at that. I mean, there's a lot of information out there that you got to check and double check and triple check and everything. I mean, the internet, go figure, you know what I mean? But as far as her father is concerned, there are numerous pictures of her father online, and I would not say that that man was white. You know what I mean? Now, once again, there's no actual audio or video of Janet saying this. I don't know if she was saying it in a, a sarcastic way, whether there was a joke about it or whatever, but this is what's going on. Now, of course, you're going to have a lot of pushback because reminiscent of what happened with Barack Obama, if you say anything about the so-called black candidate, then you will have your black card removed. You will no longer be invited to the cookout. Your career will be ruined. You'll be all types of Uncle Toms, all type of coons, all of that stuff, which speaks to something else that I have always been talking about, but I will get into that in a minute. But, for example, we have one Mr. D.L. Hughley, big freaking clown these days. D.L. Hughley is, and he's a comedian. All right, I put that in quotations. D.L. Hughley took to Twitter, or X, and he says, "All I know is Kamala looks like she did when she was in Oakland, but Janet don't look like she did when she was Penny. What the hell was in that iron?" That's very funny, DL. Of course, he's talking about how Janet Jackson, when she was a child, starred in the comedy classic Good Times. She starred as the character of Penny, and she was being abused by her mother. Her mother burned her with an iron. Of course, he's mining for jokes out of that, So, haha, D.L. Hughley, what was in that iron? He goes on to say Kamala Harris looks the way she did because she has a mom from India and a dad from Jamaica. Janet Jackson looks the way she does because she has a plastic surgeon. Okay. All right, DL's got jokes, and of course, you have people going in on, believe it or not, Michael Jackson, pointing out that Michael Jackson changed his skin tone. Of course, you guys might remember Michael himself said that he did that because of a skin condition, and you could actually see the splotches on his skin before he actually had his skin lightened. So he really did have that skin condition. And of course, they're pointing out his kids, none of his kids are black. So they're kind of trying to shame Michael Jackson, who, of course, is the king of pop. He's a legend also, and he's also passed away. So I think that's kind of despicable that they're doing that. But once again, in the black community, you are only loved as much as people can use you. Like I said, when it comes to dead black men, that's the way it is. You've heard me speak about that before. And also, let's see, if the story is unfolding, it says here that Janet Jackson has apologized, right? But in Variety, it says, Janet Jackson's apology for ill-informed comments about Kamala Harris was not authorized. Now, that apology, it says here that Janet Jackson would like to clarify her recent comments. She recognizes that her statements regarding Vice President Kamala Harris' racial identity was based on misinformation. There it goes again, guys. That old standby, misinformation. And of course, guys, I did the video 2 years ago talking about how misinformation only goes one way. Misinformation is what they call anything that hasn't been pre-approved by your mainstream, by your government, by what you're allowed to say. If you say anything that's off of that beaten path, anything that is unauthorized, anything that implies individual thought, then that is a qualification for misinformation. So it says here, Janet respects Harris's dual heritage as both black and Indian and apologizes for any confusion that she caused. She values the diversity Harris represents and understands the importance of celebrating that in today's society. Janet remains committed to promoting unity and understanding, of course, because she is a part of the Rhythm Nation. Of course, it doesn't say that in the article, but according to Variety, they're saying that she did not authorize their apology. Okay, so it's very interesting. It says, after a confusing turn of events on Sunday, reps for Janet Jackson tell Variety that an unusually worded apology for the singer's ill-informed comments about Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris's racial background was made by a person who is not the singer's manager, as she had claimed, and thus was not authorized to speak on her behalf. Now, the unauthorized apology, first reported by BuzzFeed, which is what I just read, was made by a man named Mo Al-Masri, who apparently inaccurately claimed to be the singer's manager. But Janet Jackson's manager is in fact her brother, Randy Jackson. So whoever this Mo dude is, well, they're saying he didn't have the authority to issue that apology on Janet's behalf. So we are eagerly awaiting the next chapter of this story because, as you can see, people are rushing to condemn Janet Jackson, not based on something they heard, not based on something they saw, but something they read on the internet. Once again, where's your loyalty to the truth, number one, but also to Janet Jackson, who we claim to love, who we've enjoyed her performances ever since she was a little kid. But once again, this is what goes to what I've always talked about before, where people talk about, oh, we love and respect and protect black women. It's like I was saying with Candace Owens. They really don't. Black people really don't. Liberals really don't. These are your people. These are your American Society of Magical Liberals. They don't care about the people they say they care about. They're phonies. Yes, they are. All right. They don't care about black women. They care about them as much as they can use them. If they want to keep them on the thought plantation, if they stay right there where they're supposed to be, they love them. But the minute they say something they don't like, i.e. Candace Owens, i.e. in this case, Janet Jackson, or, just about anybody else who you can name, then they have no use for them. Okay, so this is where we find ourselves right now. Personally, I stand with Janet Jackson. As far as her father being white, I mean, to me, I think that's misspeaking. But if she did say that, if she did say that, it's impossible to know if she said that in sarcasm, if she said that, in any other, feel of the word, it's impossible to know that. So honestly, Janet's my girl. You know what I mean? I grew up having a crush on Janet Jackson. She doesn't have to think the way that I think for me to maintain my respect for her, as long as she's not doing something really, really crazy. You know what I mean? Like she killed somebody or beat somebody up or had freak-off parties or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't have any problem with Janet Jackson. I love free-thinking women. I love free-thinking black women, especially in this election cycle. I have to make that distinction because, once again, black women, black men, we're all being told which way to think, which way to vote, which way to go. We're being told this. And if we go off of that, we're being shamed. We're being abused. We're being maligned in just about all you can name. So I respect her opinion. I fight for her right to free thinking. And all right, guys, that's how I feel about this. I feel that it's unfortunate that you would take a legend like Janet Jackson, somebody who gave us so much in her life, performing since she was a little child, It's like, Scream, just, with her brother Michael, that's what she was talking about, just everything that you read, all of the confusion, doesn't make you want to scream, you know what I mean? Stop pressuring with me. Stop pressuring me. Stop fucking with me, basically. You know what I mean? Michael would say, leave me alone. Just stop dogging me around. But anyway, guys, you can get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about what Janet Jackson allegedly said and what this means to you. If she did say it, does this change the way that you think about her? Because she could possibly be voting a different way than what you are. You know what I mean? Is there any room at all for free thought out here anymore, guys? Get in the comment section. Let me know. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe if you want to donate to the channel, because YouTube is trying to shut me down, but I will not, because money isn't all that motivates me. I have something to say, so I'm going to say it. If you guys want to support the channel, well, I'm all for that, definitely. So you can get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel. You can hit that super thanks if you want to donate, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you, guys. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.